Yo, so yesterday I had a synchronicity. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. I was thinking about sprint training and just how my mind is blown, how I was missing this. And um, my cousin sent me a picture of myself from 10 years ago. So the picture is on my screen now. That's me 10 years ago, back when I used to sprint train. Hopefully you can see that. It's on the screen. This was me on a tube heading towards the New Year's Eve London um, fireworks events. And I looked at this picture and I was just thinking about what the changes have happened. I look at myself now. I look at myself in the picture. Facially, I don't look too dissimilar. That was back then. How old was I? I was 23. 2016, no. It's 2015. I was 20. I just turned 24, I believe. Yeah, I just turned 24. My hair was longer. My skin was tighter. My eyebrows were dark. Um, and I just had this sort of tight, tight look to my skin in general. And I was just thinking about sprint training, which is a habit that I used to have back then. I remember very specifically, um, in fact, I logged since 2014, I've been logging my body measurements. So I have data all the way back until 2014. And I remember very specifically around this time, 2015, autumn time, I was feeling amazing. My body was in great shape. Everything was tight. And I remember this one session I was running outside with these kids, these young, like, I don't know, 10 years old. They were challenging me to a sprint race and I gave them a head start. And then we sprinted and I caught up with them and they're like, what the hell? So fast. And then yeah, that was the last session that I actually remember that was memorable for me, sprinting on grass. Um, Full out repeated sprints on grass. Because I did have some sessions in lockdown, but they were subdued. So between 2015 and 2020, I definitely had sprint sessions on grass, but they were not with the same intensity because I wasn't as fit. Because I was carrying a lot of weight actually. Because I gained weight in 2017. That's when I gained a lot of weight. So all my sprint sessions from then on were very subdued. I did like maybe 4 sprints and I called it a day. But even that was still enough to keep my skin tight and stuff. But then the reason why I'm talking about it is because I'm reflecting on my plan tomorrow. My plan tomorrow is to do these suicide sprints, which is something I used to do a lot when I was a teenager. So you do like you can look it up online, suicide sprints. They're like a thing that basketball players do. But I haven't done suicide sprints on grass since I was 15 years old. So like 20 years ago plus. Yeah. So it's like I'm just thinking about the potency I could recover in terms of my vigor because I'm thinking about sprints and how when I was in uni when I first started, I remember when I went into the halls, university halls, and I saw people around me. They were young people, people 18, 19. We're young, some of them 17. But I used to have something special over them I couldn't explain. Yes, one could argue it's a bit of no fat because I was on a streak. But even when I just started my streak, started at university, I just felt something different compared to other people. And lo and behold, I was the only person that I knew of who did regular sprint training in the area I was in Sheffield. It didn't matter where I was living. Whether I was living in university halls in the Endcliffe or when I was sprinting near Crooksmore Park uphill. I never saw anyone doing sprints. Never. Maybe the people doing them at the track. Maybe those are the only people doing sprints. But it just gives you something. It gives you a different edge. So I'm just shocked. I'm just surprised. I'm just excited to see to try this experiment to see whether this returns our vigor. It makes you younger. Even the last few days I've been feeling it. Even today when I was calling my mom, I saw my face in the video, and my skin was looking tight, and my hair was looking. Yeah, I'm excited. Anyway, that's my thoughts.